Tokyo Games after she was suspended for testing positive for marijuana use. Later, she
Gasp.
I'm like, the things you're listing.
Marijuana?
She's 25.
Yeah, she's acting like a 25-year-old. This is what happens when you make 25-year-olds famous. Google Justin Bieber. Do you see him? I haven't seen him with a shirt on in a year.
Welcome to Guys We
Greetings, citizens of planet Earth. Wow, what a planet we chose to incarnate on, huh? How you doing? Drink some water, and welcome to another episode of Guys Weep.
It's the Anti-Slut Shaming Podcast. I'm Corinne Fisher.
I'm Krystyna Hutchinson.
Welcome to the show. We have exciting news.
So much exciting news. Are you in New York City Friday, November 14th at 8 p.m.? Because holy shiitake mushrooms. Corinne and I...
Very Jim Carrey of you.
Like a glove. Corinne and I are going to be having our 12-year anniversary of Guys We Fucked as part of the New York Comedy Festival. We're calling it Slutsgiving. It's going to be the best night of your life in Brooklyn at the Crown Hill Theater as part of New York Comedy Festival.
Yeah, this is a very special show. It's going to be like an interactive love letter to all of you old, new, medium level listeners that have been along on this ride for us. We're just really, really excited about this show, and New York Comedy Festival is excited about it. The theater is a theater that we haven't performed in before. It's gorgeous. Get your tickets now. Eric will be there, and you can direct any complaints to him. Although nothing that's gone wrong at any point, honestly, has been Eric's fault. Eric is quite on top of it.
Yeah,
I will say.
Absolutely.
He's very on top of it. Very technologically advanced. That's why we picked a much younger man.
His bones don't work, but his tech know-how does.
Yeah, no, his physical state every time he shows up to the studio is deplorable.
Yep. It's worse every week.
Every time.
He's got a new ailment every time he walks in the room.
But his work that he has turned in is quite good. So please just know that. Please don't. I know it's often that it's like the male producer who's on any of our shows when something goes wrong is what's going wrong. Eric is doing really great work.
Yeah.
So don't be mad at Eric.
Yeah.
And get those tickets. Yeah, we'll put the link in all of our bios. We'll force Eric to put it somewhere on his social media. But yeah, buy a ticket to Slutsgiving. And also, because it is in the, spirit of Thanksgiving, please bring a can or a box of non-perishable food if you are able. Mm-hmm. And Krystyna and I will make a delivery to a local food bank in honor of Slutsgiving.
Yes. Let's bring food to people who can't have it. Okay. Send us your emails, baby cakes. Sorry about last night's show at gmail.com. The subject line today is requesting guidance. In parentheses, on TRT and wife does not want sex anymore. Hi, GWF gurus. I'm looking for some honest guidance here. I'm a 53-year-old black man retired from the U.S. Army in 2017 after 24 years in the medical field. Goddamn, sir, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
I've got several college degrees, and between my wife and me, we pull in about $250K a year.
Nice.
We've been married 29 years, have kids, and even grandkids. Oh my God, beautiful. Here's where things get complicated. About 2 years ago, my wife, she's 56 now, woke me up in the middle of the night saying she was really horny. Love that. But that night, I just wasn't feeling it. The next don't love that. The next morning, she told me she was upset because we hadn't had sex in over a month. And before that, it had been a month and a half. She was right. I hadn't even realized. She suggested I go get checked out, so I did. Love that for you, sir. I love the suggestion and action time is very small in your household, and I appreciate that.
But also, I want to say, if someone woke me up in the middle of a sleep,
you're not entitled to have to fuck
I don't
in the middle of the
know
night.
that I would be ready for sex either. I'd be like, what?
I would, but everybody's different. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you woke me up in the morning, I'd be like, you shut the fuck up and let me sleep.
I also just and I know, but I hate having sex when I haven't brushed my teeth.
Yeah.
I don't because I like to get into people's faces, and I don't want to get in people's faces like that.
I feel like you could offer me like $1,000. Be like, just stand up right now.
You couldn't do it?
It takes too long for me to wake up and my brain to turn on.
Me too. That's why I'm like, if it was in the morning, hell no. But in the middle of the night, absolutely down. But like I said, everyone's different. My blood work showed my testosterone was extremely low, specifically 125 nanograms per deciliter. I don't know.
Eric said, "Ooh, I don't know what that means."
I
at
guess
all.
Eric understands what that
very
means.
low, yeah.
What's it supposed to be, Eric?
It's supposed to be like more like 450-ish.
Oh,
I think
nanograms?
it's like 450.
Fuck.
Oh, that's
Okay.
That's. It seems like you
Let
need to
me-
go to the
let me look it
hospital.
up.
Normal levels, and my vitamin D was low too. I'll say. My doctor said it's common for guys going from high intensity military work to desk job to see a dip, but my numbers were unusually low. He started me on testosterone replacement therapy. TRT, 200 milligrams injections every 2 weeks, and increased exercise regime. After about 7 weeks, my levels jumped to around 625 nanograms per deciliter, like when I was 20. And wow,
More than me.
My my sex drive skyrocketed. Ooh, tell me more. Raging morning wood, love it. Random erections at work, well, that could be hit or miss. After showers, it was intense. Even a female coworker called me out after noticing it a couple times. Wait, your dick or your? While visiting my desk, and said her husband had gone through the same thing, and my levels will quote balance out after a few months. That's so funny. Wait, did she see your erection? That's a very understanding thing to say when you see your male coworker's erection.
That's like the only thing that could be said that I wouldn't feel like so embarrassed.
Right, exactly. Like, oh, it's a common problem. You're on T now. It happens. She was very cool about the situation and often came over to tell me to move my legs more under my desk to reduce blood flow. Damn, this chick is very.
Why is she looking at his penis so much? Also,
It seems like it's
if
looking
was
at
sticking out-
everyone.
if it was sticking out, I would notice it too. At home, our sex life exploded 2 to 3 times a week. I even discovered I really enjoyed giving oral. Yay! Which was never my thing before, but now it's how I start most encounters.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, I love this for you, sir. God, I gotta get. Okay, anyway, I gotta have a conversation about tea. My wife loved all the sex, especially the oral, kissing, touching, playing stuff, playful stuff for about 3 months. Then, ... things changed. She pulled back. She said she didn't feel the urge anymore. We talked through everything: foreplay, attraction, still strong, techniques, what she liked and didn't, stress levels, pretty low. Okay, you covered all the things I was gonna say. Bedroom toys. I even asked if she thought I was big enough. She laughed, recalling the time she measured me back when we were first dating. 7 inches long, 6 inches round in girth. Okay, that's pretty good. So size wasn't the issue either, I guess. Now I'm wondering, should I suggest she gets her hormones checked? I mean, to be honest, that was what I was going to say, but because women have a whole different, I mean, we both have hormones and at different levels, but what if, I mean, 50s, mid 50s, is that when menopause happens? Which can make
Yes.
you fucking angry. And that's not, I don't want to fuck when I'm mad. I don't want to sound like a jerk or make her feel like something's wrong. Yeah, but she said it to you, dude. And she was right, and you didn't take it personally. But she was in the same position and got tested, and
But
fixed
I
my
was in the
issue.
same, yeah.
I was in the same position, got tested, and fixed my issue. So, how do I bring that up in a way that's caring and non-critical, or should I just leave it alone?
Well, I mean, I'm curious, like, why was it like so much for 3 months, and then like it seems like it just came to a halt?
Yeah.
Like, did she realize she created a monster? Like, is that kind of the energy? Like, she wanted more sex, but not this much more sex, and now it's like she's living with a teenager.
Well, because
and it's weird.
Because the thing is, like, sex lives in couples, they vary, and that's part of. It's good that they do. Like, you're gonna have like a couple of weeks where you're just fucking all the time, and then maybe a month or two goes by and you don't have sex at all, and then maybe the next month you're super intimate but in non-sexual ways. Like, I feel like the ebbs and flows of relationships, every kind of little plateau and dip and rise is nice, because then it makes you appreciate all of the parts, because it's not always the same. If it was always like what you were describing in terms of like fucking all the time, that is a lot. That's a lot. So I wonder if she just kind of, if part of her wants to create like, just have a break. Also, like when you have sex that much, like sometimes it gets hard to walk. Like it just, you just want to not have sex sometimes when you've been doing it so much in kind of like a dense period of time.
maybe he's because he said that oral wasn't his thing before. Maybe he's bad at eating pussy, and she's just tired of sitting there waiting.
I feel like when you're
that
married,
hard to be bad at
he
it,
would
though.
be able to like communicate that.
Yeah.
Have said that if she told him to go to the doctor.
I was going to say, he mentioned that they talked about what do you like? What do you not like? So it's like that would have come up there, I would think.
I also, so I looked up what is the normal like libido supposed to be like for women over the decades. And so through your, mid 40s to late 40s, it should be pretty okay. But it does, point out in the mid 30s to 40s that stress and parenting demands and health factors all play a big role. Parenting demands, I imagine, a lot. Yeah. And then late 40s into 50s, it goes into perimenopause, and it says fluctuating estrogen and progesterone levels, plus symptoms like hot flashes, night sweats, sleep disruption, and vaginal dryness can affect libido. But like, can you get in, like, I know like you can get when you're like transitioning, people certainly get like estrogen, but like, is it common? I've never heard of like women going and get like estrogen and progesterone injections the way injections the way that men get tea, or is that just
I've heard women take supplements, testosterone pills,
but that's testosterone
because that was the part of the hormones that were imbalanced.
And a
lot of women have excess estrogen, which is
hormonal injections women can get in 50s to increase libido. Let's see. So yes, there are hormone-based treatments that some women in their 50s use under medical supervision to help with low libido, though they aren't a one-size-fits-all solution. So she can also get testosterone therapy.
Yeah.
She can get estrogen therapy, or she can get combination hormone therapy, which would be estrogen and progesterone. And then there are other medications, like it's called like Addy and then Vilisi. Which is an injectable given before sex. Are FDA approved for premenopausal women, but she might not be premenopause. It's hard. 53 is like on the border. Like I'm guessing she's at, definitely at least perimenopause.
Yeah.
If not, probably not postmenopause, because menopause I think takes like 10 years to complete, doesn't it? It's a while. But yeah. So
also I would say,
doesn't seem like a crazy conversation to have.
Get the hormones checked for sure, but also something that like maybe you don't, like maybe she wouldn't know that this would work because it's just not something that's just floating in her brain. But like based off of a lot of sex you've been having for how long? A couple months, couple weeks?
3 months, I think they said.
Maybe try a totally different approach, meaning like one night you do everything but sex and you go super, super slow. Or one night you go to a strip club if that's something that you both would be interested. Or one night you watch porn that like you ask her like what porn would turn you on? Like have you watched porn lately? What was the last porn video that you saw that like really did it for you? That is like, I don't know. That shit always like instantly works. But any of those methods, when you just use it again and again and again for months in a row, it just becomes stale. So I'm saying change up the routine.
I also think this is a pretty novel approach, men, but plan like a really romantic, sensual evening where you don't A, expect sex, and B, do not try to initiate sex, and see how that goes. I feel like that's like the times when I am most interested in initiating, when it's not expected of me, because there is always, even if you like really love and trust someone, there is always something in me that like when a guy does something like plans a really nice romantic evening and then at the end like tries to fuck, it makes me mad. I don't yeah. It just like it go, oh, can't we just like do something nice to do something nice for me? Like even if it's someone you've been dating for a long time, like I don't know, it's just nice to not always have to end something that is intimate with sex, because it feels like it feels still, even many years into being a woman, like, oh, this is always my price of admission. And it's nice to be relieved of that. And I, and especially if she just came off 3 months after, I'm sure what was a more dipping sex life. And now it's like all of a sudden you're back to your 20s. That's like a shock to the system.
Yeah. And to the vag.
Yeah.
And to the vag. Yeah, you sit differently. Getting railed like that. My God.
If you want to listen to the Without a Country podcast, we talk about all the biggest news stories of the week, including some things that I found online that I fact check for you so you don't have to. I know there's a lot of doom scrolling, but I doom scroll and then I deep dive the doom scrolls for you. So that's super fun. We go live on YouTube Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And if you watch it live, you can call in C-SPAN style. I also just added a sub-series this past week inspired by Taylor Swift's appearance on the New Heights podcast hosted by her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, and his brother, Jason Kelce, both football players. And yes, I was familiar with the podcast before because I actually follow sports accounts because of the memorabilia business. I did a sub-series that is going to talk about pop culture on the level that I like to talk about it, how it actually affects the world in which we live. And it really, pop culture is popular because it takes the temperature and the pulse of what is going on in our world at that time. So I did a big episode about Taylor Swift's appearance on New Heights podcast, and you can check that out. That's all on the Without a Country channel, and you can follow me on all social media at Philanthropy Gal.
Yeah, I also have a Patreon that I'm really love. I really fucking love it. The fall schedule, by the time you're listening to this, should be out. And you can go to patreon.com/Krystyna Hutchinson. You don't have to be a member of Patreon or of my page to view the fall schedule. But it's once a week we hop on a Zoom and just talk about whatever's on your mind. And we get really deep. And it's conversations that make me feel more human. And topics that are all so fucking relatable. And I really appreciate the Guys We Fucked audience does not waste any time small talking. We just get right to it. And I really appreciate that. So if you're interested in that, patreon.com/Krystyna Hutchinson.
Oh, and by the time you listen to this link will be up and live on my social media. Los Angeles, Gash, Wednesday, October 22nd, 8 p.m. at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. It is our Halloween edition of Gash, and that's a don't miss show. You got to come. It's so fun. It's stand-up, women-heavy stand-up lineup, and then also each comic is presented with a horror movie scenario that they have to escape. Only one person survives to become the final girl. Such a fun show to do. Make sure to get your tickets for that at the Comedy Store. All these links are in the link tree.
I was reading an article. So I find myself lately, especially, just really so sick of men getting away with sexually assaulting women, with physically abusing women. It's something that I have to push down every day. The fact that we have a president who is a rapist, and he's so fuck. And I look, I don't care what your politics are, but he's so fucking stupid. When he talks, he's a fucking idiot. He's dumb. He can't spell. He yells. He makes no sense. I don't. This isn't an argument about why you voted for him, but if you did, it feels like it's everywhere. My personal life, I have somebody who's very close to me in the midst of one of the most infuriating situations I have ever heard of, and we've been doing the show for 12 years. And it's just having to hear the updates daily about how the judge is ruling in the abuser's favor is just, I don't know what to do. And I was reading this article about Sha'Carri Richardson. Domestic violence is on MSNBC. It was published 3 days ago by Keith Reed. Sha'Carri Richardson's domestic violence arrest should be a real wake-up call. And the sub-headline, Richardson is a decorated track star, but if she had more discipline, she'd likely be more decorated. Keith, shut the fuck up. U.S. Olympic champion sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson is copping a plea deal from the public after an ugly incident that involved her assaulting her boyfriend at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport last month. And being booked on a charge of misdemeanor fourth-degree domestic violence assault. But the public absolution she is seeking via social media, mea culpa, may not be what the talented 25-year-old champion needs most. For her sake, one hopes she engages in a deeper, less public reflection about how she might safeguard her career by making fewer mistakes off the track. I don't like that this article was written by a man trying to tell her what the fuck to do.
Well, who approved letting a man write this article?
I don't know. And I hope he's not white. I have no idea if he is, but I'm like...
Just look him up. That on Without a Country, I always look up. I think looking up like the age race, sex of the author writing a piece actually does inform a lot of things about it.
Age.
Yeah, because like, do you write MSNBC or whatever? Like, they should have a profile with a picture. That's pretty accessible.
Okay, is he a black man? Okay, at least he's a black man. But he's a man nonetheless.
MSNBC is not that stupid.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Because they have a lot of black anchors on their shows, and they have I really like MSNBC. Okay, so that's at least nice that at least so black, because this is a white man writing about her. I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? Stop it. Anyway, the article was just. Okay, it goes on to say, security footage on the July 27th scene at the airport shows Richardson shoving her boyfriend, Olympic sprinter Christian Coleman, into a wall and throwing something at him as the couple walked through a terminal. Though she was shoving him in full view of dozens of witnesses, including TSA agents working nearby, body cam footage captured Richardson lying to the responding officers that she hadn't touched Coleman. Even worse, she was recorded telling an officer, "I can definitely have evidence of him assaulting me if possible." It's unclear what that refers to, as none of the surveillance footage shows Coleman making contact with Richardson. An officer who submitted a report of the incident said, "I was told Coleman did not want to participate," this is Sha'Carri's boyfriend, in any further in the investigation, and declined to be a victim. Coleman said she's a human being and a great person. Coleman, 29, said later of the woman he described as the best female athlete in the world. He said, "Does she have things that she needs to work on for herself? Of course, but so do I. So do you. So does everybody. And I'm a type of guy, I'm in the business of extending grace and mercy and love." Now, I loved that. But I guess what I took away from this, it is so hard in my personal life, the people I know, and it's not just this one friend, it's a couple people that have tried to press charges against a man fucking assaulting them, whether it's sexually or just physically, and that it can't happen. And Sha'Carri Richardson shoves her boyfriend in an airport. The boyfriend doesn't say shit, and they just see it, so they arrest her? Like, what? Huh?
Well, yeah, I mean,
How come?
I feel like a lot of times, was the arresting officer male? Does it speak to that? Because I was like, a lot of times I do feel like, people who are in the business of arresting do look for like the opposite case scenario.
Right.
Almost so they're like, oh, well, it happens the other way around too. Or, they're arresting based on like, because they can't have power over women in their real life, but when they have a badge on, they're able to control women. So they try to do it then.
100%.
I also think there's a huge problem in society, and we see this predominantly with black female athletes of people policing black women's behavior. If you're a WNBA fan, you see a lot with Angel Reese. There's, the whole Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark drama that's been started. And, Angel Reese is called out so much more often for her behavior on the court than Caitlin Clark is. They're both really talented basketball players. And I mean, even if you think Caitlin Clark, if we're just going, talent for talent, yeah, Caitlin Clark probably is a better basketball player, but like it's always Angel Reese. The treatment is so different. Who is like, having to like answer for her behavior on the court, which is ridiculous when you watch the NBA and you see how players act, and they're always getting into, especially when you get into playoffs, they're always getting into little tiffs and dramatically falling, and no one cares. The best acting you'll ever see is during the NBA playoffs when someone goes like this and then falls to the floor. It's ridiculous.
They do that in European football, on the soccer pitch. They fall over. I'm like,
so ridiculous.
And I know this guy, the person who wrote this article, is a sports writer, so he's writing about athletes. Right? But he goes on to say, Richardson, unfortunately, is joining a long list of athletes who have been extremely talented in competition and frustratingly self-sabotaging when they're not competing. She's 25. She should be basking in everything, including lucrative endorsements that world-class talent brings an athlete entering their prime. But Richardson has consistently asked her fans to look past her unforced errors. She missed the 2021 Tokyo Games after she was suspended for testing positive for marijuana use. Later, she
gasp.
I'm like, the things you're listing out.
Marijuana.
She's 25.
Yeah, she's acting like a 25-year-old. This is what happens when you make 25-year-olds famous. Google Justin Bieber. Do you see him? I haven't seen him with a shirt on in fucking a year.
And she's a fucking athlete. So that means her training schedule is strenuous. Her diet's strenuous. Like,
Also,
fucking-
she's good at running. She didn't claim to be good at anything else. Okay,
and don't expect her. Like,
so she's good at running.
Yeah,
Relax, relax. She didn't say that she was going to try to give a TED talk.
And look, I mean, we've certainly seen male athletes absolutely
All the time.
beat the living hell out of their wives and girlfriends.
Or get drunk, or drive recklessly, or all these.
But they
things.
get suspended from the fucking game for like, I don't know, a year, a season, maybe that's it. Sha'Carri shoved her boyfriend in an airport and gets arrested. Sorry, we just had to cut.
all
in
the
the middle
power
of my
just went
angry
out
rant.
on the studio, and I
Yeah.
was talking about Justin Bieber walking around shirtless or something.
Yeah.
We're back, though.
I don't know if we got this part in, but like, she's a track star. She's running. That's the thing that we should be. Oh, is she running good? You know what I mean? Like, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
I just felt like this article just felt.
Well,
weird.
we give male athletes so much grace with their off court or off field behavior.
Too much, if you ask me. Just
And-
like watching them beat the shit out of their partners.
Right. And it's because it's such a lucrative industry. And I think,
Yeah.
this is just another thing that speaks to like how much money are you making for other people? And at a certain point, if you make enough other people enough money, then you can do whatever you want. But perhaps, because track, I guess, is not as lucrative and it's a single person sport. It's not,
Maybe not. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there, but people, I've been watching people and how they treat, especially Sha'Carri and Angel Reese, and I just go, this is just racism.
Yeah. Yep.
It's racism and sexism put together, and then it's extra bad.
Yep. Yeah. It's just this article just goes on to criticize like every fucking move she's ever made. And I'm like, can we let the woman fucking live? Jesus Christ. Not to say that it's good to shove your partner in an airport, but like, I couldn't believe she just immediately, it feels like we're in an episode of South Park where a woman goes,
We are.
where a woman sneezes and just ice tackles her and sends her to El Salvador, and a man is just raping kids and everyone goes, yay. And obviously that's a very extreme, but it's what this reality currently feels like to me. And the only way I can get through it is by running 5 fucking miles a day.
Well, I think it's also, Sha'Carri, and it also says on her Instagram, it's Carrie. So I wonder is it pronounced Sha'Carri Richardson?
We gotta look that
I've
up.
never heard that, but it says
I saw it in
her bio.
interviews, of
I don't know.
course.
I was like, I've always said it's Sha'Carri, but anyway, she,
Should have looked that up before I said it.
no, the way you said it is the way I've always heard everyone say it on TV, but
Right.
but I don't trust people on TV.
No, I don't either.
So I literally, a lot of times when people have a commonly mispronounced name, they actually, I've found, I'll have on their Instagram bio how to properly pronounce it. And like, that's like,
Sha'Carri.
It says Sha'Carri. I don't know, but maybe,
Sha'Carri.
I guess her nickname is Carrie,
Or it's Kari.
but it wouldn't be Kerri. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
She just since she's rose to this level of greatness, men will do anything once a woman has risen to a level of greatness to undo that greatness. It's like their hobby. It's their favorite pastime. So Sha'Carri Richardson is great, and people see that, men see that, and they go, but is she?
I take her down a few pegs.
But is she great? I don't think she's that great.
need to
Can
make
I
sure she knows her
ungrate her?
place.
Exactly.
It's fucking gross. It's disgusting.
Infantilizing.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's nasty, and let's not stop doing that. Okay, so our guest today is incredible. We had such a great conversation. She is the founder of Strength Through Strides. She is an activist. She is a sexual assault survivor and the Summer Willis Act namesake. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a very warm welcome to Summer Willis.